You're watching the PlantX vodcast. Join us as we explore the inner workings of all things plant-based and all things PlantX, from the products and lifestyles to the people behind them. Now welcome our host, the man who combined his love of e-commerce and the plant-based lifestyle to create PlantX, Sean Dollinger.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the PlantX vodcast. Thank you for taking time out of your day to join us. Today, really excited to have Matt on with Rind Snacks, and we'll have him on in a little bit. Before we jump into that, for any of our new viewers, what's PlantX all about? We're essentially your one-stop shop for everything plant-based. So if you're looking for groceries, plant-based meals delivered to the house, plant-based products for your pets, or anything else you could think of. We're that community where people come and learn about plant-based living. And then we have a bit of a footprint throughout North America, in Toronto, Ottawa. Our flagship store in Canada is in Squamish, BC, 2 stores in Chicago, Los Angeles, and San Diego. And those stores act as distribution points. So now we could pretty much offer same-day delivery in all the cities I mentioned, as well as Chicago offering same-day, next-day delivery in the Midwest. And then our 15,000 square foot distribution center out of Las Vegas, which handles all of the West Coast next day. So again, the Chicago outlet came online about a month ago, and full steam ahead. Fulfilling pretty much on a Monday over 1,400 orders between the 2 distribution centers. So love where the company has gone over the last year, and really excited in the next little bit to come out with our March revenue numbers that we're extremely proud of here at PlantX. And yesterday we announced the launch of Bloombox Ireland. So again, our technology allows us to scale, and as we've spoken about on previous podcasts, to launch in somewhere like Ireland just takes 1 customer service representative. And in the case of Ireland, due to them speaking English, we actually use our British representatives to handle customer service. So we open up to a whole market that has started off extremely strong just by Athar and his team launching a new website. So again, thank you, Athar, for working around the clock to help roll out those websites and create an amazing foundation for us to launch off of. On that note, let's welcome Matt to the show. For British representatives to handle customer service.
Hey, Sean, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, hear you great. And it was great catching up before the show got started today, Matt. And before we jump into a few questions, we always start our vodcasts by asking our guests, how do they take their coffee? Those websites. An amazing foundation for us to launch on. On that note, let's welcome Matt to the show.
Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, no problem. Can you hear me okay? Yeah, hear you great. And it was great catching up before the show got started today. And before we
Sean, I'm gonna have to restart just because I'm hearing a repeat every 30 seconds of the script. So
yeah, sure. Take your time, and I'll speak to our guests about something while you're doing that. So, this gives us a little bit of a chance to jump into what's been going on, and our Little West asset, which was purchased a few months back. Brad and Cassandra and Andrew, they're doing an unbelievable job. The footprint keeps increasing out there, and acts as a amazing product for PlantX. We're about to launch in Canada in the next few weeks. The only holdup, we have the product fully ready to go. The only thing we're waiting on are the labels to be completed, and then we'll be able to launch that product. We're really excited to be carrying it in Squamish, BC. So when people come down from mountain biking or heading out to Whistler, they'll be able to try that product. And then our stores, obviously, in Ottawa and Toronto. We'll also be launching our chlorophyll water. The design has been fully completed, and we'll be rolling that out hopefully the middle of May. And we're also working on shots, different type of shots, and excited to add that to the platform. Simon and his team, who've been doing a great job on the SEO front, pay-per-click, and all of that. Besides the wholesale business, we've been working, and please take the time to go check it out, littlewest.com, and take a look at that website. It converts tremendously. Like, the conversion rates are up over 400% since we really got involved on the e-com side. As everyone knows, we acquired 51% of a company called Portfolio Coffee, and their website does really well how it is. And we believe by now taking that product and putting it on our platform, Alex and her team have already worked on a beautiful website. We'll be able to go ahead and roll those out, roll that site out, hopefully again in the next 48 hours. And then PlantX.com is getting a whole new navigation bar, which goes live by the end of this week as well. So you'll see some amazing features, and that should help boost our conversion rates. And we also partnered with a unique group, which we'll have on in a couple weeks to speak about the rollout of their brand on our platform. But Matt is back, so
hey, Sean.
Hey, thanks for joining. And back to the question: how do you take your coffee?
Yeah, I love how you kick things off with that question. It's 7 p.m. here in New York, and I feel like I could use a shot of caffeine. I have been on the oat milk train for quite some time, and big fan of Oatly. That's my go-to, but when that's not there, I go with Minor Figures. A little steamed up in the morning, and that gets me through the whole day.
Love Minor Figures, and their organic product is great, and they've done such a great job on their whole marketing side of things, which I'm sure you could appreciate taking a look at your website before we started today.
Thank you very much. No, it's so much of consumer products is about, the eye appeal off shelf or on site, and they've done a fantastic job of just stopping you in your tracks and wanting to learn more about the brand.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know that Rind Snacks was inspired by your grandmother. Could you share a little bit about that with our viewers?
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity to share the story. Big fan of the platform that you're building. So it's actually my great-grandmother, so it goes back almost 100 years. There's been a health halo in our family that is mostly on my dad's side, and I begrudged it as a kid. I really just wanted, Lunchables and Capri Sun like all my other classmates. But now that I'm older and have little ones of my own, I appreciate a lot of the healthy snacking, ethos that was instilled in me. My great-grandmother, her name was Helen, was a entrepreneur in the 1920s. So wow. She was a trailblazer on two fronts. One, she was a female entrepreneur, at the turn of last century. And two, she was a pioneer of natural foods. And her store that she had, about 800 square feet in Flint, Michigan, was called the Stay Well Health Shop. And she used to sell nothing but, whole bulk grains and whole fruit and veg, no refined flours, no white rice, no white flours. And she had these standards and this, this view of whole foods, far, well before kale was cool, as I like to say. And she lived to 100. So I did get to know her as a when I was 8 or 10 years old, and she was just this larger than life figure. And the connective tissue to Rind was that she used to have a saying, which was roots, rinds, seeds, and stems. All of the forgotten scraps of fruit and veg that typically goes to waste, that to her was the most important part. And I just, when you're 10 years old and you hear that, you think great grandma's a little bit crazy. But now I really appreciate what she meant by a whole foods philosophy. And that's what we're trying to bring, in our fruit snacks and in our business.
Love it. And I get that. Like, I looked so much up to my grandmother. She lived to 91, and it was all about health for her as well. And so nice to hear. She taught me so many of the values that I have today, and to see what you've created is fantastic. Everything from the story to the marketing to what your product stands for. And I'm sure that you faced some obstacles, right? This whole idea of including rinds in this delicious snack. There needs to be an education piece. That's really what we work on here at Plant Based, is education. How did you tackle that obstacle?
Yeah, no, it's a good observation. I think we had two things going for us. We definitely had to still work on the education piece. It's not often you see someone just like bite into an orange fresh, but I do think there is a intuitive understanding that there's a lot of nutrient density in the skin of the fruit. And so the fact that our brand name and our whole value proposition of what we say, keep it real, eat the peel, we believe, and I've been approached by so many customers who have said there's been a figure in their lives who always reminded them, never throw away the most nutritious part. So what I love is there was an education required that you can eat the rind, that it is safe and nutritious and gives our snack more texture and bolder flavor. But unlike some other more diet-driven trends around keto, not to knock that, where if you ask 10 people, you might get 10 different definitions of what keto means to them. With the rind, it's pretty elegant and simple, that it's dried fruit. We keep the skin on to maximize nutrition and minimize waste, and that's it. It's nature's candy, so we don't add any of the additives or added sugar that a lot of the industry has has hit with fruit, and it's about as simple as it gets.
Love that. Yeah, products that are one ingredient or a couple ingredients is definitely the way to go. I'm a massive believer in that, and I know you guys believe in sustainability and vegan, obviously. Was that coincidence, or was that always kind of the goal from the onset?
Yeah, honestly, the primary impetus for the business was around the functional properties of the rind. There are an abundance, a concentration, if you will, of these phytonutrients and antioxidants uniquely found in fruit peels. And it makes sense because the skin of the fruit is like the armor that protects the seed. And in the growing, in an orchard, during the various growing conditions, the fruit is under a lot of environmental stress. And so all of the strength and nutrients are sort of pushed to the edge of the fruit to, protect the flesh of the fruit. So, but the problem is fruit rinds and edible peels are among the most commonly discarded food scraps, most of which are edible. You may not eat banana peels, that we understand, but most people enjoy zesting an orange or citrus over baked goods. And there's a reason why we do that. It gives food its added zing and it elevates it. Same with craft cocktails. You see these beautiful dehydrated garnish that people have been enjoying as a standalone snack, like these kiwi chips that is on your screen. And so that was the light bulb moment, was how do we bring to market a more functional fruit snack that is different from raisins and prunes and the usual suspects of the category, but also adding naturally all the added fiber and vitamin content that's uniquely found in the fruit rind.
Yeah, no, thanks for sharing that with us. And back to my grandmother for a second. She spoke a lot about the skin on different products. For whatever reason, she was against skin, for example, on potatoes and fish. But, fruit was something that she spoke really highly of, like you're speaking about. And It ties into a question from or comment from one of the viewers, and I think it ties in nicely to what you were just discussing. Obviously, the skin would be what gets pesticides, for example, in the field. So are your products organic, and is that not even a concern, or what's your take on that?
It's certainly a concern. I mean, we source organic ingredients whenever we can. We have some of our line that is certified organic. The majority of our fruits are glyphosate free, which is the most common pesticide or herbicide. The fact that all of our fruits are from no or low spray family farms in California, we think is an advantage. We think the standards are some of the strongest in the industry. Even if you have a dried fruit product that is organic, but is from far-flung regions around the world, the standards are not the same oftentimes. And so we stand by the incredible quality of the product, and we are doing everything we can to support the family farms that we source from and to deliver, an as organic product as we can. All of the product, as you can imagine, through our dehydration process is, triple tested, triple washed, and we feel very good about, the nutritional integrity of the fruit and the snack that we provide.
Right. No, that makes a lot of sense. And from the feel and the sound and everything of your products, and it's one of the top sellers definitely in the category. I can imagine so much thought goes into the product. And as you know, we're live here today. We get a lot of viewers, and the comments are rolling in today. So, we really appreciate you taking the time. And obviously we have a couple more questions, but for people participating and positive, negative, anything they want to share with us to make the show better, as we always want people to get value out of it, we decided at PlantX to put together a package of your products and ship them out to one of the viewers today. So we'll go ahead and email them. So Matt, like I mentioned, your product's selling extremely well on our platform. Can you share a little bit with our investors and customers a little bit about your partnership with us so far, what it's been like to work with PlantX, et cetera?
Yeah, it's been awesome. I think you guys have some of the most innovative capabilities and merchandising acumen in our industry. You guys really are sort of a go-to source for this burgeoning category. I think you've done an awesome job of highlighting the merits of products like Rind, and I think you've taken great care. So much of what is important to any industry is curation, and the category is exploding, but there is still an important merchandising element. So we appreciate, I think, the care that you've given to finding not just plant-based products, but plant-based products that meet your standards and tell a similar mission-based story like we do. We love some of the retail strategy and the X stores that you've been opening, and enjoy seeing, listening to a little bit about, the latest acquisition around the juice shop expansion. And we're just thrilled. We see lots of opportunity everywhere, and we think fruit snacks are really just the beginning. The Rind brand and its potential to stretch into adjacent product categories is there, and we have to earn the right through our first product line, which are our fruit snacks. But over time, and we're showcasing a lot of this innovation to you and other partners, we plan to launch crossover snacks that will blur the line between savory and sweet. So think of fruit chips with some chili lime seasoning. That's kind of the idea.
Love the innovation, and you obviously make our job easy. I've been in e-commerce for 20 plus years. And the reason I love being the platform is I appreciate all the hard work you put into building this incredible, unique brand that for us, once we have the audience, when products like yours come along and then you introduce larger product lines, it just makes things that much greater for the whole industry, So our job is to create a trust with a customer. And then they try it and they're like, wow, this is amazing. And then when you come out with new products through our whole innovative technology that we've got with the email campaigns, SMS, everything we do out there. So that's why when we started our conversation today, and obviously what I love about this podcast, forget about being able to share with our investors and customers, is meeting people like yourself. We don't really, you're so busy, we're so busy that to take time out is sometimes tricky. And even in those 5-10 minutes, I always go ahead and go that extra mile. And I'm spending time on your website where normally I'd be like, hey, Matt, you're great at retail, but how about PlantX develops a website for you? We fulfill your B2C. And then I take a look at what you're doing and I'm like, wow, these guys have an awesome website. So it definitely shows me that you guys are doing everything right over there. So congratulations on the success so far. And PlantX is happy to just be part of that.
Thank you, Sean. I really appreciate that. And we're really glad to be partnered with you and excited for your growth.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Matt. Maybe one more question, just like kind of where you think the industry's going and headed, because obviously you've had some experience in it. And then we'll open up to some of these questions we're receiving here.
I mean, it's just such like an amazing time to be both an entrepreneur, but I'd even say foremost a consumer. There is an embarrassment of riches. It has never been easier to pursue a plant-based lifestyle without sacrifice. And I think there's a bit of a backlash that I am seeing. I'm curious your thoughts as well around a lot of the plant-based meat in particular, which I think there's been a lot written about, the ingredient decks and the process in some of those. But I actually think that there is a healthy dialogue and debate happening within our industry that is bringing to light products that are even, that have multiple use cases for different consumers. Some that are new to a plant-based lifestyle, some that are flexitarian, etc. And the cards will fall where they fall. I think there had been so much, amazing ground that the Impossibles and the Beyonds have tread for lots of other innovative brands. So I'm just excited as a consumer foremost to see where things go. I love in particular what's happening in the plant-based dairy side and on the plant-based cheese side, which I think is exploding right now and hasn't had as much attention as some of the meat alternatives. So that's where I'm excited to see sort of the next iterative cycle.
Matt, I feel like we could speak for literally hours because just, that 2 minutes, my mind's going a million different directions from, we've all been programmed a certain way to think that we need like proteins and all these different things and so focused, but instead focusing on just healthy eating. At the end of the day, I think that's the core. And I think when people right away put down the Beyonds and the Impossibles, the way I look at it is let's not even focus healthy or not, because I'm not a doctor, so I'm not going to start. But the beauty about it is it's connected people who didn't want to give plant-based a try before,
yes,
giving them a similar taste and then being like, oh, wow, hold on a sec. Maybe I could introduce myself to more products, or the Oatleys.
It's widened the tent, which I think is important because it's important for human health and for animal welfare and and planetary health. So I think these are all great things, and I think it's part of generational change that's just beginning.
I couldn't agree more. And one last thing that I'll comment on, which I had this conversation, some really smart guy today I'm speaking to, he's in a great industry. But he was speaking about how it's flattening out. And I look at our numbers each month right now, right? And we're up 300% year over year already, right? And I just see things exploding. And the beauty about the plant-based space is it's food. Every single person on the planet needs food. We're not in the plant-based space. You're not in the plant-based space. You're in the food space. Exactly. So if you make something great, it's not like somebody's deathly allergic to trying your product just because they're not plant-based. So I just see this for the next unforeseeable, this whole industry is going to keep flying.
I can totally echo that. We're seeing the same. What I love, just one last point, is I love flipping the script a little bit, which is the word rind is most commonly associated with probably the most unhealthy gas station snack of pork rinds. And, I think what we've done with this branding and the fact that not only is it plant-based, it's the plant, right? It starts even more like elementary, is showcase that, you can have convenient on-the-go snacks, single ingredient, dense, nutrient density, and you can still provide serious flavor, bold flavor, and you can do it in a way that's just so much better for yourself and for the planet. And I love that we're doing that, where we're reclaiming the rind from the pig to the plant. That's what we're all about.
Yeah, no, it's really, really great what you're doing. And from the comments I see today, which I'll start sharing with you, we don't normally have people reacting so strong to the actual product. So we have Cass Troy, who says, rind is my kid's favorite after school snack. And I'm thrilled to have a clean, nutritious, great tasting, and shelf-stable snack to give them. And then Tamara says, Matt, I discovered your product at the airport when desperately searching for a healthy snack prior to a red-eye flight. I loved your product upon first sight and first bite.
Thank you.
Those things definitely speak volumes. And then we have a few quick questions for you. Number one, Pizza Lover says, what is the fastest growing age demographic, and how do you navigate preferences that appeal to them?
So the fastest growing demo is, as you'd expect, they're in the sort of 25 to 35 range. We like to think of her as a cool mom. And what's really interesting is, hearing that comment about my kids' go-to, what we love is we typically start with the decision maker of the house, the cool mom. And we find our way into the kids' world, but we're not necessarily marketing a kid's snack. We're really trying to, it's not that we don't have apple chips that are dynamite, or a strawberry blend that's our bestseller and our sweetest blend naturally. But what we really want to do at this stage of our growth is build this brand to stand for something different, which is a bold, edgy take on a sleepy category. And the way we do that is you have to be different than what everyone else is putting out there. And we do that with unique SKUs like dried kiwi, which I know you guys carry, with watermelon and coconut, with orange chips. These are brand builders for us. And that's how we think of the business. We think of, SKUs that might be a little more fringe, but are memorable. And you get people that have their cult favorites, and you can really build a brand around that story. And then you build the business around your workhorse SKUs sort of in the middle.
And I'm not sure if I missed it in the response, but Ali asked, what's your top selling SKU, tied to what you just said, actually? Yeah,
top selling SKU is right down the middle. It's like our gateway into the line. It's called Strawberry. It's a 3-ingredient blend of dried strawberries, Bosque pear, and Fuji apple. And it's chewy, it's jammy, it's super bright and delicious. And that's our absolute hero. And so we have, our goal every day is to continue to water those flowers, which are the heroes, but to make new products behind them that, outpace them in time. Love the innovation, Matt. Add me to the list to be a tester. I would love to try out your products. And, it was great meeting you. Next time I'm in New York, if you find yourself in Vancouver, it'd be a pleasure to get together. I'd really enjoy that, Sean. Let's do it. Thanks again for taking time and joining us, and really appreciate it, and best of luck. Thank you. Congrats on all you do. Thanks, Matt. Cheers. Cheers. Another unbelievable partnership. As you could tell, Matt, very, very smart, and has developed such a great brand. Check out their website. I went on it before the show today. It's called rindsnacks.com as well. Do a search, check out some of our navigation
that we've been updating on the PlantX website. Before I let you go, just wanted to give you an update on Israel. Israel's been doing fantastic. Michael has pretty much moved over there full time and has been living out of the store. He's really been creating a community over there. We're working on the e-com distribution in Tel Aviv. And, Michael, thank you very much for everything that you're doing and thinking outside the box, adding us to the different platforms out there, and getting us a lot of coverage and articles and all of that. The site is, the store is looking great. 00, which will be opening next door. Again, you're doing a great job over there. I know the awning went up. So now it's official, and great job on that. So, again, thank you, everyone. We also had a great article come out on FX Street, which spoke a little bit about the technicals on the stock. We also updated it on the website, so you can take a look at that if you haven't had a chance. And, keep watching. Please refer, these shows, recommend them to your friends. Subscribe. The way PlantX is going to get bigger and bigger is with everybody sharing. We have over 10,000 shareholders now. So if just, each shareholder shares the story with just 3 people, that's an extra 30,000 people that know about PlantX. And like we spoke about on the show, there's so much innovation, so many new products coming out, and the platform just keeps getting larger and larger. So keep joining us each week to learn a little bit more. Until next time, stay curious, stay planted, stay healthy.
Thanks for watching the PlantX Vodcast. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. For more information, go to investor.plantx.com. See you next time.